Imagine being the fan of a college football program. You buy the merch, you go to the games, and everything's all hunky-dory until one night the entire program comes crashing down and is a shell of its former self. In fact, it's further doomed for the next several decades to the point of seemingly no return. For fans of SMU, that nightmare became a reality in the 1980s when they became the only football program in the US to ever receive the death penalty. Now, what is the death penalty in college football? The death penalty is an NCAA banhammer that imposes heavily strict sanctions on any athletic teams. This is usually enforced when a team has committed a series of highly serious NCAA violations. The main ban that comes with the death penalty is the cancellation of entire seasons. This seriousness is the reason why the death penalty has only been enforced 5 total times in the NCAA's entire existence. The enforcement is targeted 2 basketball programs, a soccer program, a tennis program, and only 1 college football program, the latter of which is the topic of today's video. The 1970s were a famous time for college football. The 10-year war between Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler was in full swing. Bear Bryant was unleashing the wishbone formation on everybody and dominating the sport, and Notre Dame was clashing with USC, putting on bangers every single year. The NFL was still gaining a ton of momentum to new fans following the merger in 1966. This led to more eyes on the college football product to see where the best players would end up. Many fans would consider this to be the golden era of the sport. For the state of Texas, it meant even more. Texas had been undergoing a boom in popularity in the 1970s, mostly due to the amount of money that was in the city through Shell's oil relocation to the Lone Star State from New York. The state found itself with an airline company, bank holding companies, and the largest manufacturer of calculators in the world. The economy was booming, and that meant that sports were too. The NFL had the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Oilers, the first of which dominated the country, not only on the field, but as a national brand. The same was the case in college football with the Texas Longhorns. Texas had a plethora of popular programs in the world of college football. This list included teams like the aforementioned Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, TCU, Rice, Baylor, Houston, and SMU. These teams all played in the now defunct Southwest Conference. As popular as these programs were, however, only one was the Big Bad brand, and all the others had to play second fiddle. Among these programs was Southern Methodist University, a team that had been starving for consistent success while being in the shadow of Texas, and longing for the glory days that were established in the 1920s and 40s. Coach Dave Smith had a plan for the Mustangs after taking over the program in 1973. Coming off a 7-4 season from Coach Hayden Fry, SMU was determined to keep up the trend of having a winning season to its name and keeping up with the Longhorns. Coach Smith took matters into his own hands by enticing his players with money, often paying players for how well they performed during games. Smith finished 2 years with just enough wins to acquire winning seasons. This practice eventually got busted open by the NCAA, leading to the termination of Smith from the program, and the team was placed on probation for 2 seasons. Smith's successor, Ron Meyer, was willing to do what it took to rebound SMU back into the national spotlight. Starting off slow thanks to the probation, Meyer finally had things turn around by 1980, where he finished 8-4 with a bid to the Holiday Bowl. The turnaround seemed suspicious in the eyes of the NCAA, and investigations soon began. Fans started to call the investigations ironic since SMU player Eric Dickerson was famously driving around in a gold Pontiac Trans Am, one rumored to be purchased by the boosters from Texas A&M during his recruitment before he chose to go to SMU. To the surprise of absolutely nobody in the conference, it was revealed that Meyer was paying high-level recruits to come play for SMU, leading to another year of probation. This time around in 1981, the Mustangs had their best season yet at 10-1, but were unable to play in a bowl game due to the probation. Meyer was let go after the season and was replaced by Bobby Collins. The team managed to surpass itself in the following year by finishing undefeated in 1982 and winning the Cotton Bowl. The program kept seeing success in the following years, finishing with a 10-2 record in 1983 and another 10-2 record in 1984, this time winning the Aloha Bowl. The continuous success of the program following the 1981 probation opened up another investigation on the program. And guess what? They were still paying players. SMU got placed on another probation in 1985, this time for 3 years. Not even a whole month into the probation, SMU boosters put aside a slush fund in order to keep paying players under the table. By this point, the NCAA had a giant magnifying glass hovering over SMU's campus, while the on-field product was crumbling by the minute. The organization decided to hold an emergency meeting in New Orleans to discuss the constant abuse of financial cheating from SMU and how to prevent other schools from doing it in the future. The NCAA created the repeat violator rule, which was designed to give a school the famed death penalty in the event that a program committed 2 major violations in the span of 5 years. 6 schools on the council voted against the addition of the repeat violator rule. SMU was one of them, with Texas and Houston all voting against it after being investigated themselves. NCAA investigations led to the discovery of the slash funds, totaling over $61,000 paid to players by boosters. The boosters responsible were identified. Many former players who were paid came forward about the incident, and the school's president conveniently resigned and cited the reason as to why being health issues. It was even revealed that SMU was paying big-time hush money to the insiders that knew of the juicy details. The NCAA had seen enough of this whole disaster and decided that now was the time. On February 20th, 1987, SMU was officially smacked with the death penalty. SMU was hit with a wave of punishments. These punishments are as followed. The entire 1987 season was canceled. All home games were canceled in 1988, which led to SMU just canceling the season entirely. The existing probation would be extended until 1990, a loss of 55 scholarships over 4 years. The school was required to prove that it had no dealings with the boosters and were now banned from contact from the program or face further punishment. The team was allowed to hire only 5 assistant coaches instead of the usual 9. All off-season recruiting was banned until 1988, and no paid visits could be made until the 1988-89 school year. As you could probably guess, the program entered a state of decay from this point on. SMU's return to football in 1989 saw the Mustangs lose almost every single game. In fact, they didn't win a single conference game for 3 straight seasons. The team's best season was a 5-6 year in 1992, and by 1996, the Southwest Conference had completely dissolved following the departure of Texas, Texas A&M, Baylor, and Texas Tech to the new Big 12 Conference. SMU, Rice, and TCU accepted bids to join the Western Athletic Conference. While in the WAC, the competition level that SMU was used to playing went down dramatically, as Texas, Baylor, and Arkansas every year were now replaced by UTEP, Air Force, and Tulsa. It didn't help that despite playing against even worse teams every season, SMU was still losing most of their games. The program bounced around from coach to coach every couple of years, but the Mustangs could never find success. By this point, the school that was once trying to compete with Texas had now become one of the laughingstocks of college football. The worst season came in 2003 when the Mustangs lost every single game on the schedule. Recruits didn't want to play for SMU. People didn't even want to work for SMU's coaching staff. A glimmer of hope shined for the team after joining Conference USA in 2005. It took a few years, but the Mustangs were finally bowl eligible for the first time since 1984. Finishing 8-5 and winning the Hawaii Bowl. The team continued to have mildly okay seasons, 2 conference titles, and a few smaller bowl wins before being moved to the AAC in 2013. With the move to the AAC, the program collapsed yet again, playing football that resembled the WAC days. Sonny Dykes was hired as the SMU head coach in 2017, and it was at this point where SMU finally started having good seasons again. Dykes coached the Mustangs to 3 winning seasons from 2019 to 2021, receiving bids to 3 bowl games. Unfortunately, SMU lost the first game and the other 2 were canceled. Dykes left SMU to pursue a head coaching position at TCU in the Big 12 Conference. Rhett Lashley took over as the new SMU coach and still holds the position to this very day. In 2024, SMU was finally back in the hands of a major college football conference after joining the ACC. The team finished undefeated in the regular season conference play and even had a bid in the ACC championship against Clemson. Unfortunately, the team fell short in the final minute of the game, but that didn't stop the team from being selected as the final bid in the inaugural 12-team college football playoff. While the team still got beat in the first round of the playoff, it still hasn't won a bowl game since 2012. It would appear that SMU is finally back in the conversation as a team that can hang with Power 4 programs. I don't think anybody is expecting a national championship from the Mustangs anytime soon, but it'll be nice to see them be respected as one of the ACC's top programs. The death penalty did them in for decades, but SMU, for the time being, is back on the table. Thank you guys for watching another exciting episode of the Pigskin Parrot. I know I've been gone for a month, but hey, college football season's in full swing. Can you really blame me? I've had a good time watching all the teams this year as well as my own, and I think a lot of people are excited for the playoff season this year. It's shaping up to be a way better one than last year, that is for sure. As far as my channel goes, I want to thank everybody for being big supporters thus far. We've had a lot of tremendous success, and the growth is just going to keep on growing, and I can't wait to get you guys more content. I got a lot more videos that I want to show you guys for the future. Stuff like the new UFL reboot. I don't know if any of you guys heard of that, but I'll definitely be making a video on that, and many more things going forward. I have a college game day history video that's also cooked up in the archives that I might release soon, and I just got a lot of things like that that I want to show you guys. You guys let me know in the comments what you want to see next. I'll do my best to make those wishes happen. Thank you guys once again for watching another episode of the Pigskin Parrot. My name is Preston McElhaney. Thank you for watching.
Punting 44.9 is long with 72.